Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today it's our weekly look at my favourite deals across the Switch eShops in the US, Canada, UK, Europe and Australia. We just dropped our Thursday edition as well. There we stick to deals that come in under that $10 mark or your local currency. This one, it's any price goes, meaning it can just really hurt that old bank account. Now as always, today I have two winners to announce for two $10 eShop gift cards, and I'll be announcing those as we go through today's list. As always though, this week we're doing that exact same thing again. Two winners will get either a $10 eShop gift card, a code for Celeste, or a code for Thronebreaker. It's simple though. All you need to do, drop a comment below, hit subscribe as well because, well, you want to be notified next week when we launch the video announcing the winners. With that, look, even if you don't enter the competition, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family. And yeah, let's get started. As always then, check the upper left corner for pricing and to see if it's available in your region. Kicking things off though, I'm doing something rare, and that is starting with a sports game. AO Tennis 2 for the Switch is arguably one of the better tennis games out there. This one, it for sure did have its issues on release, there's no denying that. There was definitely some performance issues, but they've put a lot of effort into it since, getting it absolutely to where it needs to be, with a sizable career mode, singles, doubles, and even motion controls, which are actually pretty decent. There's a lot of reasons to keep on revisiting this one. I would suggest though here, check a few reviews first to get kind of a counter opinion to mine. But as I said, I'd argue this is pretty much the best tennis game out there right now, and with 50% off, it's also the best price we've seen yet. I would though, I've got to say, if Sega, if you're listening, love a new Virtua Tennis. If this price tag also is too high for you, maybe check out Tennis World Tour, a much easier to digest price point. It's been given a hard time since release, but again, the devs respect because they've done a lot of patchwork with it, and I don't think for the small price point you'd be too disappointed with what you're getting. So race fans, now on Thursday's video I broke my $10 rule to argue against what was Fee Rally and Redout because they were coming in at $9.99 and $4.99 in the sale. What I said to do was combine these price points and pick up WRC 8 instead for one of the best simulation experiences on the console. If simulation though is not your thing, then my next shout out, it goes to Ryze Race the Future. With a decent selection of tracks though, 4 different worlds, it is futuristic after all, 8 championships and 10 cars. It's a lot of fun if you're looking for just some casual arcade speed. Where Ryze really separates itself though and earns that futuristic tag is here you don't need roads, as the cars, they not only have of course 4 wheels, but they can also turn into hovercraft mode to float on top of water. It's a very cool idea where you will feel the difference in the handling and the physics, and I really like that. It's also, to be honest, look at it, it's absolutely stunning. It was cheap already, and now, well, we're getting an extra 30% off. Deadly Premonition's Origins now, and this one was brought to my attention on Twitter thanks to CB, and this is his shout out because he let me know about a 50% discount going on right now. I've actually spoke about this one before with the exact same discount, but with the release of the sequel that's looking questionable in quality to no one's surprise I would guess, it's probably a good time to bring this one up too. I'd actually start here personally, as the sequel does appear to be a continuation with the same characters, and it probably gives you an idea of what to expect when it comes to quality. I will say though, it's a great game, it has a whole lot of charm to it. It's kind of one of them games that people either love or hate, and I definitely fall into the love side of things. Also at this point, it's probably worth knowing, I actually have a Twitter account. Never mentioned that before on the channel because I absolutely suck at it, but I am trying to get better. I am trying to do more on there. So if you are on there, maybe give me a follow. I'll link it in the description below if you want to check it out after the video. So while I'm on the topic of games I've spoken about before, actually, Sparklight is back with a 40% discount, and it is well worth the price of entry for this Zelda-like styled roguelite adventure, and I just keep on finding a lot of reasons to keep on going back to this world. I must have sunk hours and hours into this one by now. Then also Northgard 2, a fantastic real-time strategy, coming back with 50% off that is well worth a look. This and Ancestors Legacy are probably two of the best on the console for RTS fans, and off the top of my head, they're the only two I can actually think of, to be honest. It's a great game though, that works a lot better than you would expect with Joy-Cons. With that then, our first winner from last week, it's going to Jaime Barber, who is finally picking up R-Type, and that is just honestly a great choice. Drop me an email, it's in the description below, and I'll get that code to you. Alright, so my pickup this week, and it will no doubt be a controversial one. As always, I can't recommend it, never actually played it, but I'm going with FIFA 20. I own it on my Xbox already, and as ports go, this is supposedly about as lazy as they come, hence the legacy tagline they've attached to the name. From what I understand, we basically get a few additional stadiums, and then the rosters and kits are updated, and then they took a whole lot of content out of it. There's no way I was double dipping on this, especially for a feature like variation of the game, but I will say now at this price point, I don't mind it as long as the gameplay is half decent. At least this way I get to play, you know, football on the go. On that note as well, it is also my first FIFA on the Switch. I imagine from what we've seen with 18, 19, 20, the 21 edition will be the exact same, like lazy work. So this way I'm going to just stick with FIFA 20 and just wait until they give me, you know, the full package the Switch deserves. So while I'm on controversial picks too, let's talk DreamWorks Dragons Dawn of the New Riders. If you're a fan of the movies or you have little ones running around, I do actually think you can do a lot worse. What we essentially get here is a very, very simple take on the Zelda format with a How to Train Your Dragon skin. I would myself never recommend this game at full price, but I do think the 60% discount is fair. For a game you're probably going to get about 7 hours out of. I'm a self-confessed fan of the movies, and honestly I just enjoyed seeing the characters. It was a good, like, simple game to relax to, and it's also an adventure I don't regret, honestly. If you do have kids running around though, I'm pretty confident they will love it, and I also see it as a good opportunity for you to just like sit down and play along with them, you know, pass the controller back and forth. On that note though, it probably should have had like a co-op gameplay mode that would have really like bumped this package up. So one that everyone now was shouting out in the comments below last week that I just didn't mention, and it's getting its time now, but the Wardens Wii U Final Remix. It's coming in with a 50% discount. It's no doubt a good price for what is now considered a classic of the DS era. This one, it's an action role-playing game set in a fantasy version of the Shibuya shopping district in Tokyo across two planes of existence. The real ground, which is basically where the alive are, you know, they're going about their day-to-day business, and then the underground, a place for the dead to roam and basically try to earn their way back or get another opportunity at life. It's a good game, there's no question about that, but I would say watch a few reviews for the, like, specifically for the Switch version. I enjoyed it, but it does have some really like weird controller issues that you should probably look into first. Love the story though, love the visuals, love the music with this one, so if you can get your head around the controls and get used to it, you will find a really good time in here. So let's go super cheap now because everything's been kind of pricey today, but Toki coming in with 80% off, and it's at an all-time best price. This is a funny one because you're going to hear a lot of people saying, oh, you can beat it in 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but it's going to take you like a few hours to get that good. It tells the story though of a man whose girlfriend gets kidnapped and then you're turned into an ape. That's where your adventure begins, basically go get her back and try not to be an ape anymore. Based on a game though that must have released like 30 years ago, if not more at this point, we essentially get a like shot-for-shot remake of the original. I picked this up in a collector's edition that I think was like 50 bucks. Not gonna lie, that stung a little bit when I beat it after a couple of hours, but at this price I think it is well worth a look because there is a reason to keep on going back, and the platform in the combat, it is actually very solid and really fun stuff. So racing fans, now I got a good one for you before we get to our second winner of the week, TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge 2. This motorbike game is incredible and by far the fastest game on the Switch. The sense of speed with this one is just intense and insane. It's worth knowing the first entry is also on sale with the same 40% discount, but the price difference here between the two is so small, I'd jump straight for the second. It's a more fine-tuned experience just overall. Incredible game though, where you'll take on the most dangerous race in the world. Few games capture an event so well though, and the career mode, just all of it is really good stuff. I will say, of course, it's a Switch build, so expect a few visual compromises, but there's still a lot to like. It's one of the better bike-based games on the Switch right now. Just know that with this one, even with assists, it's very much a simulation and it's basically hard as nails. You'll pretty much just be holding your breath the entire time you're holding down accelerate. So our second winner of the week then, it's Patrick West, who picked up the Mighty Grid Autosport. Incredible game, well worth checking out. Drop me an email for your code, Patrick, and again, congratulations. Also, as always, everyone else watching, drop your comment below this week for a chance to win in next week's video. So our final games for the week now, and it's basically Rebellion going hard on the discount front with a trilogy of games that are just well worth a look. The first two, they're coming in with 60% off, and these are Sniper Elite V2 Remastered and Sniper Elite 3 Ultimate Edition. Both are definitely older games at this point, making their way to the Switch, but they're just great fun. Personally, I would say prefer the missions in V2, but the settings are both fantastic. You've got cities in the second game before switching over to like North Africa for the third, where the third definitely like beats out the second though. It's the controls, they feel just a little bit more refined. Both of these games though, they include all the DLC, and they're just a really like good challenge. I really like both of them, and you can make it as easy or as difficult as you want, with factors that will actually account for gravity, wind and velocity. It's kind of intense stuff. This though, it's basically summed up as sniping goes realistic. They even include motion controls. So if those two are, as I say, like realistic in a sense of the bullets at least, our final game of the week definitely is not, and that is Zombie Army Trilogy. Here we throw realism out the window and replace it with hordes of Nazi zombies invading the battlefield, and you and your sniper rifle are basically the last line of defense. Gets a little bit repetitive honestly, but it's also a pretty sizable package, hence the trilogy in the name. You'll find here basically 3 campaigns with a total of 15 missions. This just takes the whole concept to that like next level in like almost being cartoonish. It's going to overwhelm you with enemies too, and just sneaking around this weird world is a really nice take on the idea. With co-op online and local play though, horde modes and some seriously like graphic kills, I think this is well worth a look with the current 25% off. If you do want realism though, as I say, the rifles may like operate the same as the first 2 games with the challenge, but I'd say like stick to the second and third game if you want like a serious story. And that's it, another week down. As always, thank you for watching. I truly do appreciate it. The growth has been amazing for the channel, whether that's, you know, the views we're getting or just simply the fact we are quickly getting closer and closer to that 10,000 subscriber mark, something that honestly just felt so far away just a couple of months back, and well, here we are. With that though, I want to do a quick shout out to the patrons of the channel. The extra support is seriously helping, and as announced on our last video, this has already helped us. We're looking now into doing something with more of a hardware focus. Basically, it helps more than you know, so if you want to check it out, I've linked it in the description below. With that, if you are new here, consider hitting that subscribe button if you love the Switch as much as we all do in this community. Join our growing family, and yeah, drop that comment below to enter for your chance to win in this week's giveaway. I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.